Hey guys, this is John Darnell here with 310 Ranch Life. Today we're going to do a video on wax cottons, how we go about breaking these wax cottons in. It's not that big of a deal, but there is a process to do it. There's several different ways that you can do it, but this way works really good for us, and you don't have to have a bunch of different stuff to do it. So the goal whenever you're breaking in a cotton is for it to build a honest loop. What we call an honest loop is one that doesn't have a figure 8 in it, and when you swing it, it just stays open. This particular rope has gone through this process. The rope that we're going to break in today, to kind of show you the process, is a orange, green, and white rope, which I will say this color has nothing to do with the ropes themselves. So it's just color preference. Now some of these ropes are tighter twisted than others, so this one would be one of those. So it's got quite a lot of body to it. If you got this rope in a box, you ordered it and you got it, when you first got it, it's going to build a loop that looks like that. All that is memory in the rope. All we want to do is try to retrain this rope to relax a little bit and to have better memory. Now, even though that thing's got an 8 in it, you could probably still shake it out like this, which would be very ugly, and go to swinging it and it would come out based on your skill set, and then rope something. This rope would need to be used heavily were it not broken in. So you could go out and deal with that memory in it and rope, I don't know, 4 or 5 calves, and it would get better and better and better. But breaking it in is the way to go, because who wants to take that out to do a job with it? I do not. This particular rope will be challenging for sure. Sometimes you have to really work with them to get them right. So that's just the nature of the wax cotton. But we're going to show you what we're going to do to this rope to try to get it right, and hopefully at the end of it you'll be able to build an honest loop with it. It will coil up correctly, and then you can just go to using it, and the excess use will continue to break it in. So that's what we're going to do. Okay guys, so this is very simple process. What you just watched is you watched me wrap this rope around the pole. It is good to have a buddy so that you can keep tension on this rope or take tension off of it. So what we use is our four-wheeler, but you can use a side-by-side, you can use a truck, you can use a tractor, you can use your horse if you want to. Does not matter. The main thing is what we want to do is we want to create heat and friction around this pole. Basically we'll hook our loop to the ball of this four-wheeler. I'm gonna get on the four-wheeler and we'll start pulling this rope around this pole. Now what we did before was we took the rope and we totally unwound it and put it all the way into the barn so that it's coming around this pole straight. That is a key. The other thing that we did is we wrapped this clockwise. So that's the same way you take your wraps on your horn. Incorrect. You take your wraps counterclockwise on the horn, but we wrap it clockwise. Okay, so that's the memory we're trying to build into it. And Abby thinks that's funny, and it's okay. Sometimes I do like to dial it backwards just so I stay balanced. And we'll pull until this starts to feel better. The second part of this process is we go to a different post and we pull it again. We'll just set this up and let her run, and we'll pull for a while. One other pro tip that Abby has brought up that we need to talk about. When you stack these coils here, you don't want them on top of each other. Also, when you go to drive your four-wheeler side by side, whatever, off, this guy, Abby stand, or whoever, Abby's gonna stand right here, and she's gonna hold just a little bit of tension and feel for that thing grabbing onto that pole. We don't want it to grab, we want it to run. It does not matter also that there's rust on that pole. That's more friction. So it's just something else to help create friction and heat on this rope, which that's what breaks in a cotton is heavy use. So she'll just sit here And if it feels like it's gonna grab, she'll loosen up. And if it feels like it's running too free, she'll just kind of hold on. If it's too hard to pull, only wrap it 3 times, 2 times. Just go up. We know that we usually can wrap these 5 times, and we don't go over 5 because this pole gets grabby. 3 to 5 wraps is what we'll say, but we typically just go 5 wraps because we've experimented with this and we know what this pole will hold. So, anything else you can think of?
Nope.
All right, we're gonna start running rope. Okay guys, so the goal here is to get a rope that's honest as far as pulling up and then building a loop. So we'll see where we're at. We've done this 4 times around this pole. Right now the rope it's got really good body. There's a little spot right there. It's starting to rain, but it's much better than it was. We'll see if we can build a loop at this point. If we can't, we're gonna take it up to another post anyway and graduate it. So we just wanted to see where we kind of stood. So right now, down here at this end, it's still feeling kind of like it needs some work, but overall, it's getting better. So that is probably due to wrapping it around that ball, which you could just put the Honda on there if you wanted to, but the more wear and tear these things get, the better off they'll be. So let's see if I can build a loop with it and then swing it a little bit. So that loop there is already getting better. Starting to rain just a little bit. Okay. This rope at this point is 100% better. It's not good. It's not there yet, but you could take it and go start using it and break it in. Keep breaking it in, or we'll go pull it around another pole and see where we get from there. Okay guys, so same process, little bigger pole. So this is just an old telephone pole that has been broken. It's right here at the house. We take 3 wraps, 3 or 4 wraps on this. This is a little more grabby, and you can kind of create more friction on more of the part of the rope, or more of the rope at one time. So same process, we wrap it clockwise 3 to 4 times, and we'll just take the 4-wheeler and take off. This time we have unthreaded our Honda, and we've just got the Honda on the ball. So we're gonna see if that won't kind of help straighten our loop out a little bit based on just pulling this rope straight. So what I may do is back the 4-wheeler all the way up to the pole and then let Abby kind of pull the slack out of it so that when I take off, I'm getting more of the loop in the twist around this post. So from here, that's 4 times around that pole that we pulled it. So from here, I'm gonna stop, take it off the 4-wheeler. Abby's gonna pull it up to the pole, and then we'll build thread it back through the Honda, and then we'll build a loop and see how she swings after 4 times. Okay guys, so the goal here is to make a honest rope out of this cotton. We went 4 times around the small metal pole. We went 4 times around the big pole. This rope has made a huge change. You could take it and go to work with it, or you could continue to work on it and break it in. So all I want to do here is build a loop and see what we got. It's still got a little bit of a, I won't even call that a little bit, it's got a lot of a memory still in it, but it's not figure eighting, so that's a big change that it's made. So I can build a usable loop, and you can go and start doctoring with this, or doing whatever you wanted to do with it. The biggest thing is these ropes have a ton of body. They last a long time. There are tough ones to break in. This one I would consider a tough one to break in, but it is definitely on the right track. So you can take this rope out and do whatever you want to with it, based on having to build a proper loop every time as it gets broke in. So we can swing a loop, feed into it, throw and catch, and go to the horn. So from here, this is where you just continue to train these ropes. Thank you, Abby. So from here, I'm just gonna cool back up, rebuild my loop, and it still needs some work, but it is usable, and it just needs to go to work at this point, for me anyway. So I'll throw one more shot based on this rope, just to feed into it. And I would call that a success based on what we wanted to do. Is it perfect? No, but heavy use or more use, another day or so, going out roping some calves, or if you just want to keep pulling it around the posts, that's the way these things get broke in. So anyways, good luck with your cottons, guys. They're not for everybody, but if you can learn how to break them in and get the benefit from one of our longest lasting, best weighted ranch ropes, they're the one. Thanks.